Do you find you have months in your estate agency business where you're really busy, followed by months where you're really, really quiet? Now, this isn't a short fall view of being an estate agent. This is your sales funnel being broken. On today's video, we're going to go through and fix this for your estate agency. We're going to show you the old version of sales funnels compared to the new version of sales funnels in 2026 and how you can action these points to generate more instructions and get more sales in your estate agency. My name is Chris Webb. I'm the owner of the Estate Agent Consultancy. I've been an estate agent for over 20 years and I'll coach and train the best estate agents in the UK to be the obvious choice for sellers in their local area. To start off with, let's look at an old-fashioned sales funnel in an estate agency. So let's go an old versus new, shall we? So let's start over here with the old news. So this is your traditional sales funnel in the estate agency business. And it's made up of 4 clear areas. First one is cold leads. These are people who have no idea about your estate agency. They might have maybe seen you on social media, had a push, they might have had a leaflet, they might have seen a board, but really they have no idea who you are as an agent in the local area. Then we have warm leads in your estate agency. These are people who might be on the fence, think, yeah, I know who you are. If I was thinking about selling, it might be a consideration for them to use yourselves. They are aware that you exist as an agent. That's a really good place to go forward with. Next up, we've got people who are ready and at the market appraisal stage. Now, next to tell you what these are. These are people who have called you and had you out to value their property. And finally, last but not least, we've got instructions. So instructions are people who are ready to go on the market with yourself today. Now, if we put some numbers next to this, we can work out exactly what we kind of need from top to bottom of this. So if we were looking to get 1 instruction on the market, generally speaking, you would need 2 market appraisals with a 50% conversion rate. On top of that, we'd have about 15 warm leads and about 30 cold leads. The reason it's 30 is that any one time, if I had a room of about 30 people in front of me and said, is anybody looking to move? I'd probably have 1 person waving back thinking, yes, I'm probably looking to move in the not too distant future. So that's the sort of average for the UK, how many people are looking to move at any one time. Now, the reason this is good and the reason this is bad. So the good reason, there's a clear path we'll progress with our estate agency. And with clients that I work with, one of the first questions I'll ask them is I'll show them this sales funnel and I'll say, right, if I drop you into an estate agency today, where would you start? And most people go, well, I would start with the instructions down here. I would start with people who are ready to go on the market today. Great. Okay, well, let's start with those people, shall we? Right, let's say we can't use those people. Who would we go to next? Well, I'd go to the people who are ready for the market appraisal. They'd be the next ones I'd have a chat with because they seem to be pretty keen. There's a couple of people who had a valuation. Why wouldn't I go to those next? Okay, now what about after that? Well, I'd go to warm, and if by magic we leave the cold ones left here. Okay, well, what next? Well, we've gone from the best leads in our business to the worst leads in our business. We've contacted all of them, we've dealt with all of them. Now what do we do? This is where you get a huge variation in your business. And what you end up with is months where you have good months, bad months, good months, bad months, good months, bad months. And that is a stressful life. And what you'll find is actually that goes downstream. So what I mean by that is if you have up and down listings, so one month you list 10, then 2, then 10, then 2, you'll then get months where you sell lots of properties, then you don't sell lots of properties. And that will ripple down to your cash flow in your business. So some months you'll have loads of money. Good news. Other months, you'll have no money whatsoever. And it's all due to this sort of feast and famine approach to your sales funnel. So that is what we've done historically. So let's go on to what is the new version and the way you should think about this in your business in 2026. So to start off with, let's say we've got a business with no instructions. So let's start from 0. Let's start literally from day 1. So let's go 0 instructions here. Go 0i. That's no instructions in our business whatsoever. Well, our goal is to get our first instruction under our belt. And usually this is for friends, family, relations, someone you know in your local network is the easiest way to get that. But that's a whole video in itself, to say the least. Let's say we get our first instruction on the market. What this is going to kick off is a flywheel in our business, which is effectively going to look like this. And let me talk you through this because this probably looks a bit like a backwards 6 at the moment. And therefore we want to put some labels against this. We know exactly what's happening. So therefore we got no instructions here. Well, let's say we got our first instruction and we mark it for sale. So now our job is to leverage that property as much as possible to generate more instructions off the back of it. So what we're going to do is market the life out of that property. This might be leaflets, for example. It might be social media. It might be emails. It might be letters. There's so many things we can do, but basically what we're trying to do is to send that background like that, which is going to help us get more properties back for sale. Now let's go forward in our timeline. Let's say we've now sold the property. Great, good news. High five, we've sold a property. This is good news. Now what we need to do is leverage that property to get some more instructions off the back of it. So again, we're looking at our marketing we can do here. So we might do leaflets, we might do letters, we might do social media, we might do email, loads of things we can do, but all it's trying to do is push more leads back around our business. And then finally, we get through to completion. Great, I'm sure you're getting the gist of this already. Now we think to ourselves, how do we leverage the pants out of this completion so I get some more instructions off the back of it? And you'd be thinking, leaflets, letters, social media posts, gifts to buyers, reviews, testimonials, video testimonials, so many things we can do that again, refill our sales funnel. Imagine this a bit like starting a lawnmower. So you've got a lawnmower that's got one of those pull strings on it. You have to put it about 15 times before it actually starts. That is this stage. That is this stage of it. Once you've got that going and you've got your first instruction, that is like your lawnmower starting. As if by magic, the engine starts going. Great. And all we're doing with each rotation of this is adding more fuel to your lawnmower. And it's getting quicker and quicker and faster, and the business is using more and more market appraisals, listings. That is what we're trying to do here. So this is where this old school method used to have those highs and lows. What we're now looking at this is gradual growth over time. And instead of having ups and downs like we had just now, we are looking at a gradual growth like that, because what we're doing is we are refilling the machine, but slightly more every time. Refilling the machine, but slightly more every time. So therefore, what this basically boils down to is that every time you list a property, sell a property, complete a property, anything you think to yourself, that's really good news, I sold a property today, or that's really good news, I had a completion today, you should be thinking to yourself, I need to generate more leads off the back of this. How can I generate more instructions off the back of what I've just had today? Is it social media content? Is it letters? Is it leaflets? Is it door knocking? Is it anything else you can get to get your face in front of people to show I've had a really good success in the local area and you could be part of that process too? That is how you produce a business that grows and grows over time. Now, if you look at the averages in the UK with regard to completion times, it's about 6 months from start to finish. So let's put 6 months in there. So therefore, you've got 6 months to action all of this content going through there. It's a bit of a curse in the UK that it takes such a long time to get a house through to completion, but it does buy you a lot of time to do marketing in and around that property to leverage around getting your next bit of stock. Key message from today, don't have a sales funnel that looks like this. This is going to be a stressful life for yourself. It's going to have good months, you can have bad months, and everything's going to be quite hard work. Instead, have a business model based on this. The only hard bit of this is getting your first instruction on the market. Once you've got that first instruction on the market, you can leverage that at every stage of the process, pushing more and more people into your sales funnel and getting more and more people on board with the process. Right, well, that's a wrap on today's video. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you want to download a free copy of my best-selling book, Your First £100,000 Estate Agency, you pop over on the Instagram, DM us the word book, and that'll come straight across yourself. I'll catch you on the next video.